What if I told you that InEar coaching for bootcamps is a fucking scam and is not necessary? Let me explain why. This is for those of you who are thinking about bootcamps. So let's talk about InEar coaching and why it's a complete scam. We're so used to hearing about, oh, if their student pose InEar for their bootcamps, if that's the thing, it must be proof for their Daygame courses. It's proof. It's proof. But I'm going to share with you 3 dirty secrets with you today about this evidence versus proof for InEar coaching. It is not proof. I'm Johnny Lee. I'm the world's best Daygame coach with 623 laid pull testimonials for Daygame, who has the more than every person in this Daygame industry combined. And if people don't think these are real, guess what? They're just super fucking jealous. Super jealous. They're just so jealous because my student, they post like a fucking white student getting 1 lay. I post one with 10 fuck buddies, a 5-some, 2 models, and 1 model girlfriend. All the lay pics with all the audio infields with every fucking proof, their tuition, their WhatsApp messages. They're just jealous. But InEar coaching is not proof, guys. So if their students are cheating and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about, John? How can you cheat? What if their students were actually using alcohol in the bedroom? That means at that point, when they use alcohol, everything before that point does not work. So if you took away everything after the alcohol point in the bedroom, the end game, the mid game, and the early game does not work. That becomes a major problem because you think you gotta be InEar coached, but you don't have to be with my training. That's the part that's hidden from you because everything before that point is not proof at all. It is just documented evidence. But my students can get laid without InEar coaching and they get an analysis. Then that means if they're not using alcohol and escalating super hard, not taking no for an answer like their boot, then what is this? This is a skill. This is a conversion because they maneuver, sexualize, objections looping. However, in your coaching, the only thing it can do for you is to get you to pull her back home, launching 1,000 romantic sexual flirts, which does not work because most people don't fit in with a boyfriend and girlfriend frame. So every time you try to use a bunch of these stupid flirts, you're seeding the idea of being in a boyfriend and girlfriend frame, but you don't actually fit in there. You see that? No matter how hard you try, you will never fit in a boyfriend-girlfriend frame unless you're a tall white or black guy with muscles and height. So when you try to do that shit, what happens? You get stuck. They may InEar coach you and it looks great. It looks like, oh, look at all this acrobatics, this fucking circus here. After the circus, once the animals go inside the tents, guess what happens? Alcohol comes out. They teach your students to use alcohol. They teach them to escalate super hard, not taking no for an answer. They teach them how to go just below the level of grape. That's what they teach. And their students are stupid. They're like, oh yes, just bedroom masculination. No, my students are not taught bedroom masculation. They're just taught how to maneuver, sexualize, and objections looping. That's it. They don't actually have to use alcohol. They just use skill maxing. They dress whitewashed, raise a lot of points for looks, elevator shoes, money, the status be more whitewashed. Like in Indian, for example, if they're whitewashed, they're like 4 out of 10. They learn social skill flow drill, they learn social calibrations, they learn emotional control. And lastly, game is just maneuver, sexualize it to the maximum in objections looping. There's flirts, but there's no romantic flirts here. So therefore, they get laid very easily. And they don't even need to sound great for their infield. They can sound like retarded. As long as they're talking slower, they'll get 2.5 points for the emotional control category. If they can learn how to talk slower, they'll get 2.5 points for the social calibrations when they learn how to slow down and take their time. See, I'm talking a little bit faster, but I can switch anytime because this voice is trained. I can do it at any time I want. But here's the problem. People have like fast syllables. They can be corrected. They're micro pauses. So if that gives it 2.5 points, also their body language for social calibrations can be corrected. That's another 2.5 points. That's 5. Social skill flow drill, they practice that. That's 7.5 points. Game is only 2.5 points, as I'm saying. That's the thing, though. Before that point, interaction is not proof at all. It's just evidence of a pull only. So what you see there is not transferable to their Daygame products. You might say, oh, their Daygame product looks like the student pulled her back home. They're being InEar coach, so you think this is an important feature. But in reality, you don't see the alcohol maxing and the heavy bedroom masculation, not taking no for an answer, keeping it below the level of grade. So therefore, you don't see that part, so their Daygame courses never work, so you have to take a bootcamp. Every single time you gotta take a bootcamp. So they make 5K ahead. And of course, there are some people that can afford it. They're level 3 students. Their students will be Asperger's, they'll have that sociopathic death stare. And it's funny how they call other people like that psychopaths. Like the Therion or whatever women, when they try to call other coaches that, because of that death stare, and they don't feel guilt. But sociopaths don't feel guilt. They don't feel guilt. That's why they can use the alcohol maxing in the bedroom. They don't feel guilt. They do it every single time. In every infield they have alcohol. And when their students do the same thing, the apple does not fall far from the tree. It is completely unethical. For their infields, it's not proof, it's just evidence. So I'm going to share with you 3 dirty secrets about their students using alcohol in the bedroom and escalating her super hard. But that part is hidden from you before that point, as I said, in the interaction. So it's not proof at all. It's just evidence of a pull only. So what you see there isn't transferable to their Daygame products. It has 0 Daygame late testimonials for their products in courses. You're always going to get stuck because you're going to think this is an important feature. Oh, they're talking to their students. They have a microphone. So therefore, the game is important. The lines are important. The lines don't mean shit. It's social skill flow drill. It's emotional control. It is social calibrations. And game is only 2.5 points. That's why it's not enough. They have to fool people and gaslight them using unethical practice, such as using alcohol and escalating her super hard. It's a complete scam. So if my students don't require that, then why will you need InEar coaching for bootcamps? Why we need somebody screaming in your ear what to say? When my students can adapt everything in real time, they know the algorithms. They just need to know the timing when to flirt. I would tell them. I don't teach bootcamps as much now until there's 0 COVID. But if she's off the line, I'll tell the student in the InEar to tease her right there. But the thing is that they'll be doing a bunch of push-pulls and a bunch of romantic flirts. That's not gonna work because the only thing that matters is that they get them to the pole location. That's what InEar coaching can do. But however, once they pass the pole location, you don't see that their students are using a big bottle of champagne. You don't see that they're taught to escalate her super hard and not take no for an answer and keep it below the level of grape. Seriously. So if anything, if you take away the alcohol and you take away the heavy escalation, the InEar coaching is all a lie. It's all just a circus being coordinated because my students, if they can get laid without a boot camp, and there's so many students that got laid recently, and they all done it without a boot camp, and every single testimonial is genuine. So they're so jealous. They'll be like, oh yeah, testimonial's not, oh yeah, fuck you. Every single last video testimonial is real. I have their lay pics that they don't have of their students, because if they show their students lay pics in videos, it's just gonna be a big ball of alcohol. They don't have proof, they have evidence. Because InEar coaching, you might think, they're talking in the ear. The lines are important. Let's Todd V it, the lines are important. The lines are not important. None of my students use lines. Don't you get it? Even if they use the hybrid opener, they don't use lines. I just tell them to open. But they don't even, outside of boot camp, they all drill down at home. On WhatsApp, the hybrid opener. Excuse me real quick, I have a question. I was looking for XYZ. Do you know where I can find it? It could be anything. Zara, Starbucks, whatever the fuck. Just get her to stop. They can make up the XYZ part. So there's no need for lines in their coaching. I don't tell the student, just say, excuse me real quick, I have a question. They're like, excuse me real quick. No, I could just teach them to do the drills and they could do it in real life. They may not even sound good. In fact, a lot of the testimonials, when you listen to them, the students are very timid. They sound very timid. They're not confident sounding, but it doesn't matter. Because if you raise your social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, social skill flow drill, triangular flow drill, the 45-degree body language, and they work on the learning how to slow down their speech so they're taking their time like this and being whitewashed, automatically leads to a same-day lay. They can pull by talking slower because when they drill that down and they talk slower, they automatically get her home because when you talk, here's a gold nugget, guys, don't tell anyone, but if you talk slower and then you try to open and she walks away from you, she'll walk back. She'll listen to what you have to say and say, I'm sorry. And when you take your time and you take your time to speak, that's the leader of the tribe. You're like, how do you talk slower, John? All my students, they have to drill it down. They have to learn breathing exercises because when you start doing a bunch of micro pauses, when the student talks like this, talk super fast, try and go slow, a bunch of micro pauses like this because they run out of oxygen and they're lost left brain. They don't know what to say. They're thinking, see, they have this POA accent. All of this could be drilled away. So why we need InEar coaching? Because when you fix this thing, you get 2.5 points for learning how to talk a lot slower, for getting a 45-degree body language. Now you get another 2.5 points. The social skill flow drill, the triangular flow drill that gets her talking more. I always tell my students, the flow drill is like this, the triangular flow drill. You tie like a string from your bed, you bring it outside, and you string it all the way to the Daygame location. Every single time you go through the triangular flow drill, it's like a big one, right? Hanging off the fucking string. Another one, you get closer to the pole location. And you don't need to have InEar coaching. You don't need alcohol and you don't need to escalate her super hard. You learn skills. It's like a boxer. They drill down their skills when they have Elite Bundle 2. So if you guys are learning something, give it a thumbs up. And also you should check out the description because there's a 30-minute consultation. Right now, I'm going to be doing more consultations. In the past, I dismissed it. Lots of people want to know what their problems are. Show me a picture of what you look like so I can see your fashion, I can see how you talk, I can hear it. On your consultation, I can go over in details more about your life and diagnose the problems and make a recommendation for you. Not everyone deserves to be in my coaching. Last time I talked to somebody on the phone, I told them, listen, you don't belong here. I told 2 people to fuck off. So not everyone will, so there's no obligation. So look in the comments, which I'll be pinning there. Look at the description, sign up. I have this thing called Calendly or Calendly, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know how to use it. I'm new to this stuff, but I like to have more people sign up. So sign up in the link below. Here's the link for it. Let me just copy and paste it or something like that. Pretty cool. You can set up a time and stuff like that. And here's a link for it. Should be it. All right, let's continue. So basically, I know what you're probably thinking. A little bit of alcohol will not hurt, even if the coach was InEar coaching and the student used alcohol, a bottle of champagne, it may loosen up her a little bit. But honestly, that is very socio. It's a win at all cost behavior without guilt. They don't feel guilt themselves. While it's not illegal to get her drunk, it never is illegal because night game would be illegal if that's the case. But if she's intoxicated and you're heavy escalating and not taking no for an answer, that's called sexual assault. That's what they teach their students in these sexual assault camps with their InEar coaching. They don't even have any skills. The InEar coaching only gets a student to the pole location. That's it. She cannot object when she's drunk. And you might be thinking to yourself like, oh yeah, I'm interested in John's coaching, but InEar coaching, what's that, right? It may be new to some of you, but it's almost like a device they put in their ear. And then the student also puts one in their ear and they can hear what the coach is saying for the lines barking at them. They're stupid lines. Rolf, romantic flirts, romantic sexual flirt. It doesn't fucking work. Yeah, sure, you get her to the pole location, but at what cost? Use alcohol and escalate her super hard. So it means all their infields are not even proof beyond a shadow of a doubt. All their student infields are just evidence because you're being gaslighted with this circus. If none of my students actually use InEar coaching, and I don't have to InEar coach them, then what's the point of InEar coaching? I have 623 late pole testimonials, and every single fucking late testimonial is real. I could even call the students right now and get them on here and tell them if they want to speak about it. Maybe I should do that. This is completely unplanned. Hey, any of you are free to be on YouTube Live, just don't say your name. Then you can tell people whether or not the coaching and all the student ladies pics, which I post here, are real or not. I will just call you very quickly and then you can hang up afterwards. Who wants to be here? Just asking my inner circle group. Completely unplanned. I can actually verified. They see all the lay pics from the students. And if they don't need in-ear coaching, they don't need a coach telling them what to do, but they just practice the drills in the inner circle and the elite bundle of 2 students, why would you need to be in-ear coaching? You might think it's during the inflation, therefore you don't have as much resilience. So you might as well take a boot camp, spending $5,000 to have somebody bark orders in your ear. Maybe that's what you're thinking. If they're barking orders in your ear, it'll be easier. You don't need as much resilience. You'll get over your fear. And then you look at their students pulling. No, you don't see them actually getting laid because they're using alcohol and heavy bedroom emasculation. So my students are doing this without alcohol. Then why the fuck would you even need alcohol for? Why we need in-ear coaching? Why we need to be coached in ear? If they're getting late, of all these students keeps getting late. And I posted, even the white student, he doesn't have good memory, but he's up to 3 lays right now. And for that student, he'd never been in-ear coached. I just make him do some drills like a boxer practicing their drills, right? When they practice on the heavy bag, let's say that's social skill flow drill. Okay? Boom. There's a microphone here, that's why I cannot throw too many punches. But let's say they're practicing their drills, or Muay Thai. They're practicing their elbows, their punches, their knees, their roundhouse kicks, right? That's their drills. 4 drills. Let's say for my students to raise the points for social skill flow drill, they practice a triangular flow drill first. And I critique it. Although I don't critique it as much if they're not learning as fast. The next drill is a 45-degree body language, a diagonal body language, because it doesn't put pressure on her. If you square off, like these self-proclaimed coaches, you got to be manly and square off. It's very manly. All the manly people never gets much late testimonials, or any, or just down to 3. As you're giving validation, you're squaring off. None of my students square off. They're forced to stand diagonally and look at her. Give it a thumbs up if you're learning this thing. These are secret things. Just because it doesn't mean you can do it. But that's already 5 fucking points right there. Social skill flow drill, and also the 45. And they have to learn when to nod. They have to learn when to be curious and ask questions. I won't go over the whole social skill flow drill. That's secret. That's for my student. That's their secret sauce. But if they already do that, women in their mental filter, do you know most women, their female nature, I've broken down the algorithms, is looks is out of 10. There's no, it's not about looks. Oh. No, looks is out of 10, money is out of 5. Out of 10, social skills, 2.5, social calibration is 2.5, emotional control, 2.5, game 2.5. That's 10 points right there. So if we added social skill flow drill and we added the body language of social calibrations, that's already 5 points, guys. 5 extra points. And how many points does game have? 2.5 at most. So when they're doing in-ear coaching, they're using a 2.5, a bunch of romantic flirts and a bunch of push-pulls, and maybe try and pull her back home. It'll never work because you don't fit in the boyfriend-girlfriend frame. So you have to start escalating super hard to get her to break. It's like brute forcing it. They're a bunch of cheaters. Everything about them is cheating. So in-ear coaching, if you think it's necessary, then how did I get all these late testimonials without actual in-ear coaching? In fact, it's an advantage not to have in-ear coaching because my analysis works because I can hear their social skill problems. I can hear when they're hunching, because when you're hunching like this, you sound very different, you get it? You don't sound as confident. When you're standing up straight, 45, you sound very different too. There's a resonance with your voice that's different when you stick out your chest. You should give it a try. You'll sound different when you change your body language, your congruency. That gives you extra point. However, for them, their students hunch like crazy. Their students dress like shit. And the only thing they can do with in-ear coaching is to pull her back home. And because you don't fit in the boyfriend and girlfriend frame, number 1, the fuckboy frame. Number 2, the boyfriend-girlfriend frame. That's where the romance is, romantic flirts. Most of you don't fit in there. Only tall white guys fit in there. Not all of them. Number 3, the friend zone social circle. A lot of these guys are saying, oh, you got to hang around with women and take pictures next to them. No, that's a very hard thing to do if you don't have the high status frame, which I'll talk about later. Number 4, husband material. That's why I'm dressed husband material. All my students dress whitewash and husband material. It dramatically raises the points. So they don't have to do fucking in-ear coaching because their points already many points. Think about it this way. If you've got money in the way you dress, it's out of 5. You're already getting 2 points there, or 3 already. You're whitewash. Let's say you're whitewash Indian. You're 4 out of 10. If you're not whitewash Indian, you're bench hold Indian, you're 2 out of 10. Okay? 4-2, 4-2, 4-2. It's a big difference. And let's say you're a Latino, 6 out of 10, but you're whitewashed, 7. These things matter. Even if you add status maxing, there's not enough fucking points. You have a high status race, high status job, high status lifestyle, high status third world money status traveling advantage, high status exotic advantage, being a different ethnicity than all the locals. But that is not enough. That is only gonna give you like this many points. But if you don't have the money and you're an engineer, you can only travel for 1 or 2 weeks for vacation. Your boss cannot see the other women in your social media twerking. That's all bullshit. So anything before the social media close does not work. You get it? Just like in your coaching, anything before the alcohol being brought out, anything before that point does not work. It's you're just gonna spin your wheels no matter how hard you try. You're like, oh, I can see the student infields. They're in your coach. They're in your coach, John. I can hear, oh, they hear what the coach says. Listen, I'm gonna tell you a big fucking secret. The reason why my students get laid nonstop is very fucking simple. Okay, here's the big secret. 55% of your communication is nonverbal. You're like, really? Even that 2.5 point makes a big difference. So nonverbal communications is 55%. Your tonality, which they learn how to talk slower and sound whitewashed, that is like 38% of your communication. 55, 38. The words that they talk about for the in-ear coaching is only a 7% of your fucking communication. 7%. Don't optimize what does not need to be optimized. When you look at Elon Musk's 5 principles, number 1, be less dumb. In-ear coaching, unnecessary. Number 2, remove unnecessary steps. In-ear coaching does not work without the alcohol maxing and the heavy beta emasculation. Number 3, don't optimize what does not need to be optimized. If you took away the alcohol and they were not allowed to use it, 0 of their students will get laid. They'll have 0 infields, and their girlfriends. They'll have no girlfriends because their first girlfriend that they claim that they pulled her back home, they never got her inside the building. She just stopped. They'll say, oh, they'll show you their infield if they want to come over and take a look at it. She'll never walk inside the fucking door. You know why? What really happened with their first girlfriend? Because they lied to you. They lied to you. She, no matter how much romantic flirts, because they couldn't use the alcohol, she never went inside that place. She didn't have enough trust. They used romantic flirts. She didn't get inside. So how did she become a girlfriend, you may ask, for this coach? It's very simple. For a couple of weeks, when they're texting each other, she kept saying, you're ugly to the coach. Inner coaching coach. You're ugly. Get away from me, you're ugly. However, he used alcohol and banged the other women that's her friend, because now that creates pre-selection. And then she fell for him over time. Right? It wasn't initially because of that infield. It was all a lie. So the in-ear coaching and all that stuff without the alcohol does not work. They may have a girlfriend, which they claim is attractive. My Pakistani mentor's girlfriend is 10 out of 10. She looks almost like a CG person. I'm not sure. I don't think she had plastic surgery. Maybe some fillers on her lips, but she looked perfect. Outside of that, I'm not sure. She doesn't seem to have any work done. She's Russian, not Ukrainian. She looks like 10 out of 10. I cannot show my students, but I've seen it, I've verified it. Their girlfriends look like not that attractive. But how did he get that girlfriend? Here's the truth about the other coach. They'll claim that, oh yeah, look at them, they're girlfriends. Look how you get girlfriends. Here's the truth. To get that girlfriend, and I know, they never got it from Code Approach or Daygame. They got her from a social circle event. This coach went on a date with another woman, a fatter, uglier woman in the social circle. It was New Year's. So she fell asleep and she was drunk. She passed out, always alcohol. So what happened with this coach was that him and the other women, which is usually above their SMV scale, they had sex afterwards and they fell for each other. But it was social circle. It was not Daygame. They lied to you about their girlfriends. They lied to you about everything. They lied to you about the London immersion program. Only one student got laid with an ugly Asian woman, a Puerto Rican guy. Everything's a lie. Sometimes the truth happened is that they did get that laid. They did get that girlfriend, but how he got there was a complete fabricated lie. Just like in-ear coaching is a complete fabricated lie that people fell for. They believe if they can hear in-ear in the coaching, therefore, it's okay. I'll call one student, okay? I'll call one student and you can hear whether or not my coaching is real or fake. Then you can confirm it for yourself. I just texted him. This is completely like, this is completely on the spot. So, 1 second. Let me just find his name here. Okay, here he is. So I didn't plan this. They don't know. I just told them. Let's hear if it's true. Yo, don't say your name and stuff, right? Don't give away any information. But this is completely unplanned. I didn't try to plan anything. I just texted the inner circle WhatsApp group if anyone wants to be online and just talk about it. Am I right?
Hello?
Hello. Did you hear all that? None of this is planned, right?
No, just random.
I just texted you in the group, right? If anyone wants to go on YouTube, I'm just holding up the phone near the microphone. So I want you to confirm this because some other jealous coach tried to say, oh yeah, testimonials are not real. They're super jealous because every single student they have, my one is better. They show an Indian bald student, my one gets married. They show a white student, mine has 10 fuck buddies. So don't say any of the students' name, but have you seen any of the laid pics before? When I post an inner circle, whenever students get laid, yes or no, is that true?
Yes, exactly. And the inner circle and WhatsApp group.
That's right. And that's uncensored too. Which student from the inner circle, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
So is there any times I ever not show them, or is there any chance I ever faked any of these video testimonials or testimonials you've seen? You've been with me for a long time.
No, it's not fake. I've been knowing you for years.
Exactly.
I mean,
and you also got results too. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. I got so much late and so much results over the years, obviously. Yeah.
Did you ever have two girlfriends before at the same time?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Did you ever have a girlfriend and a white fuck buddy at the same time?
Yes, last year.
Yeah. If that's the case, right? So every single thing, every single screenshot, you seen them before they are censored. You see all their names, everything. Nothing is even fake at all. There's zero chance. So what do you want to say to the people out there that are on the fence and they're just not training with me because maybe the inflation is expensive? What do you have to say to these people?
Understand that inflation, it's here. Take that your personal life. It's very important. And you should do something about it immediately.
Also, tell me more about yourself, right? You're a Latino, right?
Yes.
And you're 5'7".
5'7", yes.
What do you say? We're a bunch of midgets compared to other coaches. So you're 5'7", that's all. And how old are you right now? I don't InEar coach you guys in the group, am I right?
Yeah.
If I don't InEar coach you guys, then is it necessary?
It's not necessary. It depends on the structure. Everything is the structure. And it depends on you, how the potential, and it's up to you.
Do you guys? I try to claim that these guys practice drills, right, in the group before. Have you guys practiced drills for your social skill flow drill, your social calibrations, 45 degrees, you're talking slower? Do I have drills like that so you don't need infield and like InEar coaching? Is that true or not?
Because we do drills based on the system, how to practice.
Do not teach them how to do it, but the drills do help, right? They do get the students late.
Yeah. You have to work for it, but they work.
So outside of that, so the drills raise the points, right? And also you as a Latino, you dress in a blazer and you wear whitewash stuff, right? We don't want to say the entire fashion, right? But you do actually dress whitewash, not sneakers and fucking jeans.
No, especially if I'm like older and want to do like blaze the fashion.
I see. And it helps, right? It got you the girlfriends before, it got you everything. Husband material.
Yeah.
White women.
Yeah, everything combined. You just have to be persistent. Like, love what you do. Work hard to get the result.
So is there anything like, do I teach lines or is it all adapted to the algorithms, like the hybrid opener and everything? Is it lines or adaptive, natural?
It is adaptive.
So if it's all adaptive, there's no like lines that I need to scream in your ear?
No, there's no line. I don't think lines work like that unless you're natural, but everything is an algorithm.
Exactly.
That you follow.
You mean like the social skill flow drill, right? The 3 steps we will not talk about, but the entire thing is an algorithm. Am I right? So it's more like adaptive, right? What she does is when you use the algorithms, but everything else is natural. Am I right? And there's only like a very light level of game, which is maneuver, sexualized objections looping, and flirting in between, backfilling. And when you did all that stuff before, when you used the arrow science, did it work? Yeah. It also worked for the other guy who's Latino in New York, who's 21 years old. He finally applied that and then worked. Before you just posed. But if that's the case, so I think basically, yeah, this is like one of my students. I just randomly called him. So if anyone ever tries to say, oh yeah, your stuff is like testimonials or fake, whatever, it's called defamation of character and libel. I will take that into account. I know.
And the only video I was training with John, it was a little different. Change. It's not the same. That's why mystery method doesn't work for streets. London method, all that bullshit. It's bullshit. You have to adapt. John has the solution for 2020. I trust this guy with my life.
I know that. Thank you. I'm really happy having you as a student, right? If I let you in inner circle, I do trust all of you with my life. Most people are not invited to that group. Is it every single year, right? Is it the system changes a little bit to adapt to that year, the inflation, the pandemic? Does it change a little bit?
It changed. You have to change. We have to change to the students, adapt. Otherwise, we fuck.
Exactly. So what you may be training with me before, right, a couple years ago, is not going to be the same thing I'm teaching this year. Every year is different, but they always raise the points, right? Okay. I think you guys are I think that's basically what I want to hear. And I think now that they hear it, right? This is not like planned like yesterday or something to say this, say that. I just wanted to call my students. So if there's other people that are watching this that are my students, and you want to get on the call and tell the people that, oh, this is real and they don't need inner coaching, right? What better way to tell people, right? Rather than me trying to tell the audience, right? Why don't you guys tell it? So whoever is going to be here, that'll be great. So anyways, I think that makes a good point. I think they understand now a lot better. Okay. So this is one of my superstar students, Many Lays. Thank you.
Tell you something else, Joe.
Okay. What?
To let you know that this system, I've been laid there before, and it works anywhere. You're seeing anywhere you go. Play the game with you, it works too.
It's not just, oh, it works in Europe in some third world countries, or it works in some Asia or something. It works everywhere. Every student's around the world in different places. So
yeah,
a lot of our students in the inner circle, they're from the United States, or most of them. Is that true? Like the majority of them. Few Canadians, few from Asia, few from other places, but mostly Americans. Am I right? So it's not, if it works here, it works everywhere. So, and the drills are super important. They have to work hard at it. So if it's drills and stuff I teach, right? Like the army or like boxing, right? Then what's the point of mass approaching and trying to use tactics? Does that work? You get rejected a lot, right? Everyone's stuck.
I recommend that.
Everyone's stuck with their 2.5 points of game. And that's why they're always stuck in these boot camps and using alcohol maxing and the heavy escalation, or they play a numbers game where they have the mystery method type of boot camps. This is not the answer, guys. Is there anybody else that you've seen posting Daygame late testimonials from this year? I've been posting a lot. I haven't posted all of them yet. You do notice there's other students I have not posted yet. Am I correct about that? From this year? Many, right?
Yeah.
The Italian student, I only posted 2 of his. He's up to 5 now, right? You saw the women that he's fucking, right? Their faces. Is it really 8 to 9 out of 10 for the Italian student, or am I exaggerating? And the Jewish student, the 42-year-old student, right? He got a girlfriend now recently. You saw him like closing 2 women, right? In the pictures of the women.
Yeah.
And he can actually do it. And you saw that.
I'm a big guy. I'm a big guy. So it's okay.
Yeah, your ex-girlfriend was quite hot. Your ex-girlfriend like has like a nice body and stuff at the same time. And that's the thing though. Also, the Vietnamese student, who's 5'6", he has a very pretty woman, right? He fucked that's a 9 out of 10. Am I right? Some people may not like the pretty type. They want more like bootylicious. She's attractive, right? Like she's pretty in the face. Like, you seen her?
Yeah.
It's not like I'm exaggerating. She's really pretty. So these kind of results from the students, they're way more attractive than what other dating coaches students get. Am I right?
Yeah.
You get like way above your looks level.
Yeah. I have to say that he's not really lazy. You can get results from these algorithms, these train coaches.
Yeah.
I think the old coaches works this really hard to apply the same techniques from years back. Really, everything has changed. It's very deep, but with the algorithms that John is teaching them, it just opens your mind and you adapt to it. You can get results faster.
And also this, for the 623 late post testimonials, right? I always post every single one of them for years. Is this bullshit number, or is this actually 623, one after another, that I post without the name censored for the group? Is this real, or is this bullshit?
It's real because every time you post a testimonial, comes with proof.
Yeah.
Pictures of the girls in the bedroom, naked sometimes.
Yeah.
Or
do you see the student's name?
Bathroom.
Do you see the student's name, like on the screenshots, or am I photoshop away the name?
No, it's a screenshot from WhatsApp and the picture.
And it's all real. It's completely accurate. You can see the name and the student in the inner circle. Am I right?
Yeah, it's usually a bedroom pic on the bed, laying down butt naked or something very intimate. It's obviously it's not Photoshop, it's real.
And also this, sometimes you see the students just pulling and not getting late. Does that happen?
It happens so many times to me too. Recently I pulled and I'm close, but I'm close to truth.
So it's not like bullshit where they just automatically, every single one gets late. Sometimes they strike out, right? They fuck up. And they're learning.
Of course. It happens sometimes.
In all the testimonials, when you look at the testimonial page, you've seen it before, right? You know all the students, or roughly a lot of them. Am I right?
Yes. There's a lot of students, Texas, from the States, from Canada, from all over the world.
You recognize who is who, basically. You know who is the Indian guy, right? Who's this guy? Who's that guy?
Yeah, I know them by name, but I don't know all the faces.
Okay.
But if you mention his name, yeah, I know.
They have the right to their privacy.
Yeah.
And I know that you don't mind me mentioning your name out here, but maybe for this particular video, I won't. But thank you. Okay, I'm going to hang up now because people are getting bored. All right, later. See you. So if you guys really like what you just heard, and that was my Latino student, I just called him out of nowhere. If you like it, check out the link to get a 30-minute strategy session. I'm not a person that does a lot of call to action. I'm not a marketer. But if I don't talk about these things, people will not know about them. So this is called Calendly or whatever. You can select a time and a date that you want to roughly talk to me. We can always reschedule or change it around on WhatsApp. But a lot of people are very curious about Daygame and they want to get some results themselves. And they're really thinking about it. There's a lot of people that are professionals and they're getting older. They have a good life in terms of making money, but at the same time, they just don't have things fulfilled. Or they always look at these boot camps with this InEar coaching, or they look at this other stuff and they're getting confused. They're getting confused. Where should they go? The thing is, until you talk to me, there's no obligations. You should sign up and I can test this Calendly thing because I'm not like a tech guy. This is suggested to me to try it. Join my coaching. And you don't need InEar coaching. You don't need a boot camp. You don't need to spend $5,000 or more. Even though you may feel like it's faster if you're InEar coach, but when they pull the students back, like the women back at home, in the InEar coaching, the rest of it is just teaching the students, here's the bottle of champagne. I don't want to use it. Listen, it's easier. You just got to escalate super hard. They'll have the conversation, right? You got to escalate. You got to bedroom escalate a little bit hard. Just keep it below the level of rape. Just try your very best, right? Blah, blah, blah. Drunk, romantic flirts. Doesn't fit in boyfriend, girlfriend frame after they get it in. Not taking no for an answer. Then you get Stockholm syndrome. That's how they get all their other girlfriends. Outside of that one that just went to the door and banged her friend and then later on she would fall for him. Outside the other Ukrainian one where it's fucking just social circle and using alcohol and just going out with the other ugly friend. Outside all the other ones are all alcohol maxing and Stockholm syndrome. Because when you hostage take people, you have sex with them, you force them, they'll eventually try back or rationalize that it's okay. It's like Andrew Lake kind of game. This kind of crazy ass game. That's what they teach your students. You like, I don't believe you, John. Look at every one of their infields. There's always a big bottle of fucking champagne. Why is there always a glass there and a big fucking champagne? Because that's how they close. They cannot close without it. And that's what they teach their fucking student. Now you realize all the video testimonials, all the testimonials are all real. They know the students. You heard from one of the students. Just this is beyond a shadow of a doubt. This is a witness right here. All right. One student showed up. Anyone else wants to be here on the call, just don't say your name. If not, that is okay. But it'll be good to hear from some of you if you guys are finished work. Okay. I'm just texting my group that. So this is all spontaneous. But then again, I'm going to show you a great way you can actually get laid, like my students who doesn't, you don't even need a good infield, right? They can sound completely retarded. But if they fix their body language, like the student says, the drills, the exercises, they can pull with ease or get laid almost daily now. Before, in the beginning of the year, almost every single day, like they're either lay or pull, they don't need to use no fucking alcohol and they get amazing results. So the first dirty secret is their infield analysis for their bootcamp doesn't mean it's proof. Every lay testimonial is real. That many. Because you don't need InEar coaching, guys. Fuck InEar coaching. fuck their ear, man. Fuck them in the ear. Give it a thumbs up if you guys are learning and expanding your mind. That if what I teach is completely opposite to what everyone else teaches, give this video a thumbs up. And then you have all these tall self-proclaimed coaches who are like, oh yeah, I got so much student results. I got this many testimonials. Dude, testimonials does not mean laid testimonials. What somebody said a nice comment here, I screenshot it. That's a testimonial? No. It's either laid under my coaching or they pulled. If they say something on YouTube, doesn't fucking count. Half of their testimonials are like that. Just testimonials. Oh, I got over red pill. That's a testimonial, right? That's not a testimonial. They got over red pill. They got over black pill. Or the coach is legit. How is that screenshot as a testimonial? And then the other half, or 40%, are Tinder shit. Is Tinder pickup? No, it's not pickup. You don't actually pick up women. You just swipe with good pictures and add them to WhatsApp. You can get an assistant to swipe for you and just collect the lays. Does that count? No, it's not a lay count, it's a body count. And then what? They have a fucking 10% or something night game, and maybe less than 1% of a fucking day game. They have a 7 or 8 at most, if they're lucky. It doesn't even fucking work. But they use the word code approach, so you're always stuck. But you don't need InEar coaching. It doesn't fucking matter either. Romantic flirts, the only reason why they're using InEar coaching is because they're getting students to pull, they use alcohol, and then afterwards, with the alcohol, then they tell her that students to escalate her super hard below the level of grape over and over until she says yes, and that's how they film the rest of it. In the InEar coaching, that's only 7% of your communication. 55% is your nonverbal communication, 38% is your tonality, and 7% is the fucking words that they're focusing on. Autistic people, Asperger's. If they've done engineering job before, Asperger's will focus on fucking lines and gamey shit and techniques and that kind of left brain shit. Fuck that. So, the big idea is here is that this is proof beyond a shadow of a doubt, because evidence is like exhibit A, B, and C. Now, that's not my students. They'll testify here. Every single fucking lay testimonial is real. Is their classmates. This is not evidence. This is not exhibit A like their fucking bootcamp infields with their students. That's evidence. This is proof. So if anybody else wants to show up, now would be the time. As I'm saying, this is actual proof. Because these students, it's not just like them saying it. They actually got laid. And they got all these results themselves. I have their lay videos. I have their infields. Their audio infield. You don't need a video. It also debunks the video infield. You need a video infield of the student in InEar coaching, right? No, this debunks it. They don't even sound all that confident in their testimonials. None of those fucking lines matter. It's just a body language. It is the social skill flow drill, and it's learning how to talk slower and taking your time, guys. Don't you see that what the other students said is the things that don't make any sense to other dating coaches, because they're a bunch of autistic fucking sociopaths. They don't feel guilt. And they'll say to other people, oh, they don't feel guilt, so they're a psychopath. No, people don't feel guilt or sociopaths like them. And they lie about everything. And not only that, like how things happen. A lot of their student results, they fabricate it. Like they got laid, but how they got there is completely sensationalized and dramatized and fucking, and their immersion programs, they lie about it. They say, oh, multiple students got laid. No, only one student got laid. With an ugly fucking Asian woman with a more square jawline than me. Big fucking Asian woman, square jaw, big. Chinese have very square jawlines. This guy who's 8 out of 10 or 7.9, Puerto Rican guy with muscles, maybe he's a personal trainer. I'm not saying he is or not. I'm not saying. But he bangs like a 4 out of 10. And then they try and make it seem like other students that pulled got laid. They just use emojis. No, it's all fucking lies. They lie about this stuff. My students are telling you it's all fucking true. All this stuff is true. Every fucking lay testimonial. Because it's important, because they're trying to fire off 1,000 romantic flirts in your coaching. Oh, another flirt. Say this line. Say that line. They don't fit in with a boyfriend and girlfriend frame. Then in the bedroom, they have to use alcohol and get her drunk. And learn bedroom escalation, cheating the process with their Daygame courses. It doesn't even fucking work without alcohol. Their infields do not work without alcohol. And the second dirty secret is everything is 20 out of 35 points to get over that line of fuckability. Don't you get it? 20 out of 35. So the main thing to understand here is that They keep talking, oh, it's all game, 2.5 points, a little bit of game, but game is only 2.5 points out of the entire algorithm. This algorithm got me 623 late post testimonials. And what's great about all that is that you don't have to worship me as a dating coach. You don't have to worship. You don't have to worship infields and get stuck. You can just learn from me and get laid. If you get over the algorithm, looks out of 10, money out of 5, stats out of 10, 2.5 social skills, social calibrations, emotional control game. That's it. Boost the fucking point. Not in your coaching. Fuck that. If you're above the threshold, then you get late. If you're not, you get stuck. So in the that's the thing. Alcohol, heavy escalation, not taking no for an answer. Keep it below the level of grape. That's not game. That's how the coach cheats. All their girlfriends was with alcohol. And in case they don't drink, they get stuck at the door. They bang her other friend later on with alcohol. And then later on, that woman falls for them because of pre-selection. Another girlfriend in Ukraine is social circle. They go out with another ugly woman, fucking drunk. And then they bang a hotter one with social circle, but they'll tell everybody. They got their girlfriends. They're so great. They got their girlfriends. They're lying to you about everything. Almost every single girlfriend they ever had without alcohol, it does not work. They need to use sexual assault game. So that way, when they do get it in and they wrestle her, not taking no for an answer, almost crazy as leaving the inside their door with a lock. The lock is not on the outside. The lock's on the inside. In these third world countries, they can get away with that kind of stuff. They like holding people hostage many times. That's how they think. They're cheaters and they're liars. They cheat through everything. They cheat to get their girlfriends. They'll even cheat to get into a different country. They'll tell you stories like how they apply to a country like 4 times. No, they cheat. A woman pregnant, raise a kid, probably holds in the condom, they get married. But they didn't tell you that until recently, until I said the truth. Everything's a lie. The results are lies, immersion programs lies. And a lot of the student results is not how it happened. They'll even tell students are average or ugly when they're like really good looking. They'll lie through their teeth. Everything is a lie. You're dumb enough to fall for this whole scam or this circus of InEar coaching, this whole fucking freak show of a circus. And that's the thing, because people are impressionable. They don't know any better. They just think, oh, they got the result here. They gain more results here. They show an Indian student as bald gets laid. I show an Indian student gets multiple girlfriends, and now he's gonna get married this year. They show a white student getting laid, or eventually will get laid. My one has 10 fuck buddies, and they're like, oh, I know it's fake. No, fuck you, you jealous motherfucker. Jealous, super jealous. When all my other students are saying all this is real and this is spontaneous, okay, I'm gonna contact another student. Now you have proof beyond a shadow of doubt. Hey, what's up? I'll call you right now. Don't say your name. All right, don't say your name out loud. So you are my student, right? You're an Indian student. How tall are you?
6.
Okay, I always thought you're 5'5", but you're somewhere like that, short. And when we say other coaches' names, right, we don't want to say their real name because they can get us in trouble with the law. Because they like to. Who was your old coach before? Was it self-proclaimed high lay count guys? I'm saying multiple. And
That was this one, yeah.
And we can't say anything too much about it but have you ever? Okay, so we're not gonna say too much, okay? But did you get any lays from their coaching? So you took we'll just call it 9-week mentorship program. Did anyone get laid? No, we're just gonna call it 9 for the sake of, right? Wink. We're not talking about that one. We're talking about a different one. Okay, so for your 9-week mentorship program, did you get laid for it?
No, I did not.
Did anyone get laid for Daygame in their class?
No, not that I heard of.
And you're not lying, you're not like defaming him, and you're not trying to slander. You're actually telling the truth. Nobody got laid for Daygame in your class at that time.
Telling, yeah.
To your best of your ability, okay.
Yes.
Because it's the truth, and we're not saying their name directly. And I'm not here to defame their business or hurt their business. I'm just trying to make a point here. With my coaching, you have 8 lays now. Am I correct? Okay, that's even better. Okay, so you saw all the lay pics and stuff in the Inner Circle WhatsApp, and you saw an Inner Circle group. You're part of Inner Circle. You're a lifetime member.
Yes.
Is this in a timely manner? Whenever they get laid, right? Do I post it right away? Yes or no? Like when
Usually yes.
Usually yes. Inner Circle, I might delay a little bit until I write it down, but in the Inner Circle WhatsApp group. So if one of the students get laid, I show it to you. Okay, number 2, on the frequency of testimonials, right? Sometimes they're post, sometimes they're late. Like you've seen that before, right? Like I'm up to 623 now, and you saw many of them. You've been coaching with me for years.
Yes.
Is it really true that all these testimonials keep showing up out of nowhere? Is that true, or is this?
It's bigger instructions.
Did you see the name of the testimonials in the students, like women that's not, face not covered before I censored it? And which student are they, right? Is this all true, or is this like fake?
No, it's all true.
Like we didn't rehearse this beforehand, and this is all spontaneous, as you can see in the inner circle group that I'm going to call you guys.
Yes.
We had no idea. Like basically you have no idea that I'll even be on YouTube live until the very last minute. I didn't even tell you guys until now. If that's correct, then every single testimonial that you've seen is genuine. You see the names, the frequency, inner circle, and the other students too. Am I correct about that? The other students.
Yes.
And I tag their names whenever they get laid in the group. And the testimonial.
Yes.
And the video testimonial guys, some of them too, right?
Yes.
So it's all real, right?
Yes.
Not even one like fake testimonial.
You don't do any fake stuff.
And they're not even photoshopped or anything. There's the same person, they get laid, I tag them in inner circle. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Because other self-proclaimed coaches, right? Do they always, on their testimonial page, do they always post like student late testimonials, or do they just post like positive comments on YouTube?
Yeah, a lot of just positive stuff just to get their numbers. A lot of it's not even results.
And that's a fact. That means we're not defaming this coach, and we're not trying to hurt their business. Is that right? Is that a fact? We're just stating the truth.
That's correct. Yes.
But if their number of testimonials they claim, right, and half of them, I would say speculation, my opinion. I haven't counted. I can go through everyone. Are most of the students like from Tinder for results?
Yes. Good. Yeah. Majority of them. Yes.
And sometimes night game. A few times.
Yeah. Sometimes it's mostly about online. Like it's just mostly online game, pretty much. I would say like a good 80% of it.
I know, like we know every secret of this coach, right? I know everything about him, but due to professional courtesy, I'm not going to attack. Like I know all the dirtiest secrets, like stuff that they say, and there's controversy among other things. I'm not going to talk about. Due to professional courtesy, I personally don't think he's like a bad character. He's just bad personality, but not a bad character. Maybe he has good intentions, but I'm a better coach when it comes to pickup. When you look at my students, do I have like positive reviews or those kind of impression testimonials, or are they all just lay and posts?
It's just all lays and pulls. That's the only thing you care about.
So unlike them, where they post half of them just positive comments, my one is just all pickup. Daygame, sometimes students get late night game, but nothing else.
Yes, yours is actual results, unlike theirs.
It's not just, the student gave a good review, he learned a lot, he's setting up dates, none of that shit. What do you want to say to people that were skeptical? And you've seen all these testimonials over the years, right? As you go from 500 to 600 or 400 or whatever, and what keeps going up, right? You've seen it all. Tell them the truth. We're not rehearsing this. We're just, anyone that hates on me and tries to say my stuff is fake, I want to say, fuck you. Fuck you up the asshole. You put a big purple dildo up your ass, you fucking assholes. Honestly, who the fuck do you guys think you are? Like, you're so inferior of like 16 times the amount of lay testimonials. Go eat a dick. So what do you want to say to the world about the testimonials, the results, and whether or not they should invest in themselves, especially 2024, right? Inflation and shit. Tell them, what do you really think?
You're the only coach that is beating all the other coaches. You have the most testimonials. You're getting students the most results.
When we say testimonial, can you define it? Can you define what you mean by testimonials? Because they say testimonials like 1,000 something testimonials. Yeah. What does that mean by testimonial?
Like actual lays. Like you're not, like students are just feeling good and not getting results. And people, I know other coaches count that as testimonials, but you don't. You actually care if students are getting results or not.
And by results, so we're talking about lays and polls only.
Yes, correct.
And there's no, I like this program. It's only about results too. It just has to be a result. And none of this is fake at all. Like you're literally seeing in real time the student's name and the women too that they fuck.
There's people that weren't getting any results and they were even thinking about committing suicide and stuff.
Who were we talking about?
One of the students.
Okay, fine.
In the circles.
Yeah.
And they didn't get any results from other coaches.
Like Todd V, right? Suicidal Todd V. I know who you're talking about. And
and they came to you. They were able to get their first lay. And it was something that they were really struggling with. And they were thinking about committing suicide and all that. But it didn't seem like it was so going to be possible for them. But with your training, like they got it done.
Yeah, and remember, he came to me when he says, John, if I don't get laid here, I'm just gonna, he talked about ending his life. And you talked to him before. This guy's for real. This is not some bullshit story. And I got him laid.
That's just...
I was like, don't put that pressure on you. I don't want to train you. Unless you finish the mindset playlist, all I wanted to sleep, I'll do tomorrow. I'm like, fuck you. You do it tomorrow, you did it in 3 hours. He had the resilience to do all this stuff. He practiced a lot of drills. But okay, all this stuff is real. So you've seen it firsthand and stuff like that. So I think that's all I wanted to say, and I want to get that message across. And yes, like, you're not exaggerating that you were once a self-proclaimed high lay count. Guys, multiple student.
Even in the program, a lot of people were, so that just shows.
Remember, I'm not responsible. You're just speaking the truth. You cannot say like, this guy's hurting our business, defaming it. I will protect him.
Yeah.
We will not go much further than that. Just say we know every dirty secret there is, everything behind the coaches, the fights. We will not talk about it here at that time. So you're saying this is the truth, that you're not exaggerating, that people did want it refunds.
Yes. Because of lack of results they were getting.
But they're getting Tinder results, but not like Daygame or some night game.
Some weren't even getting that.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I didn't know. So
yeah, not all the students got results.
Interesting. But beyond that, we're not going to share anything else, because there's a lot of nasty stuff we can share, because there's a lot of controversy and a lot of stuff they're being accused of. We know all the secrets.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean I will want to expose it, because like John Wick says, consider this a professional courtesy. But all right, later. You guys see a pattern here? But yeah, we stand by everything we say is the truth. Johnny Lee is the world's best Daygame coach with pick-up student results. There's no positive reactions or positive comments or reviews. Who gives a fuck, or impressions or setting up dates? It's only students laid or pulled if they fuck up. This is not an exaggeration. All this is the truth. The student cannot get in trouble for speaking the truth. He's not trying to defame this company or anything like that. It's just he didn't get any results. This stuff did happen. We can get to really nasty stuff. This is just my opinion of what I see, and this is just what he's seen. This is not like saying something that's false. It's not false. He got 0 results. He's 5'5", for fuck's sakes. And there's so much I know that I will not get into. This is the most I'm gonna say. You have no idea. You have no idea. There's so much stuff that I know, but I don't care. I don't give a fuck. It's my professional courtesy. Let's continue. So this means that for the InEar coaching, their audience are sheeps who doesn't know any better. They're not above a threshold, so you're being deceived. They got results, but how they got there is not how they got it. Their students are impressionable sociopaths too. They don't feel guilt. They get triggered. They have low self-esteem, but they're Asperger's. They have that sociopathic death stare. So when you tell them to use alcohol and escalate hard, they don't even know why it's a bad thing. They cannot feel guilt. And when these kind of people try to accuse like self-proclaimed coaches, and I say many, they just be like, pay to play or whatever and stuff like that. And they actually pay to play too. Many times it's called taxi money. So I don't know what the fuck, there's like accusing other people of themselves. Because they don't feel guilt, therefore they're a psychopath. No, that's a sociopath that don't feel guilt. That can use alcohol and stuff. That's not a psychopath. Psychopath can feel guilt a little bit, but they don't feel empathy. Sociopaths do not feel guilt. All their actions have, or no guilt. It just doesn't even make sense to them. So maybe they're misdiagnosing people because they're having opinions as facts. Let's continue. So the third secret is my students can get laid. My analysis is accurate. If they can get laid in 1 to 4 weeks, averagely, without boot camp, and I just hear some of their infields that say, fix this, fix that. If they're not being InEar coached in real time, then why would we need InEar coaching? If they can get laid, that means my analysis is more accurate than theirs. Their analysis is inaccurate because they have opinions as facts. They call themselves the experts, the best or whatever. But in reality, if their stuff doesn't work without the alcohol maxing and heavy escalation, they're no experts. They're cheaters. They're liars. They're manipulators. They're sociopathic. Their analysis is all wrong. As they analyze other coaches and they say, oh, he's a psychopath. Or there's this and because of that. And they got results and they're great. The girlfriend stuff is all a lie. Some poet did not get laid, use alcohol with another woman, and then pre-selection, they fall for them. Other girlfriends in Ukraine, they get through alcohol maxing, but for social circle, not Daygame, everything's a fucking lie. Every fucking thing is a lie. You're like, is it one lie or two? No, it's like everything is a lie. It's the half truth. It's all gaming the system, and their audiences are stupid. Yeah, that's a sociopath traits. Because if they have this 7 months to misery course online, and they're just using game. In 7 months, they'll eventually get laid if they just approach enough, but why does it take so long? Because they're delusional. They're like an AMD processor with 10 cores in their brain. a slow one. But imagine a sociopath have 10 traits of a sociopath, and they're running all the time. 10 traits, how to spot a sociopath. They always have these 10 traits, they cannot change it. That means even if you talk about it, you talk about the crazy eyes, that looks like the woman from Therion, which they'll call her a psychopath. She's a sociopath, manipulating people all around her. But they always have these crazy eyes, these sociopath eyes, right? The people they accuse of being a psychopath, maybe, in my opinion, I'm not saying this as a fact, a statement of fact. I'm just saying from an outside view. I'm going to read the 10 traits of a sociopath. Does that sound more like a psychopath or a sociopath? So number 1, sociopaths are charming. They have a high charisma and they tend to attract the following because people want to be around them. They have a glow about them that attracts people, typically seek guidance and direction. Sheeps, they often appear to be sexy or have a strong sexual attraction. Not all sexy people are sociopaths, but obviously watch out for over the top sexual appetites and weird fetishes. Okay? So that's one trait of the AMD core that they always run with. They cannot change it. Don't forget that. Sociopaths have no ability to change this stuff. So if they use better emasculation with drunk women, they cannot help it. They gotta cheat their audience. You gotta cheat the whole fucking world. That's just number 1. Charming. I'm not charming. I have no charm. This is why my subscriber count is not that high. I don't have the sociopath charm of a cult leader. I don't. Number 2. Sociopaths are more spontaneous and intense than other people. They tend to do bizarre and sometimes erratic things when most regular people wouldn't do. They're extremely unbound by social contracts. They seem to be irrational, extremely risky. That's when they use better emasculation on drunk women. That's what they secretly teach. That's their secret sauce. That sounds exactly spontaneous. And they're also violent people. They're completely violent people. They have genetically violent parents that beats the shell of them until they got scars on their head. Number 3, sociopaths are incapable of feeling shame, guilt, or remorse. When they try to say other people don't feel guilt, they can lie through a lie detector test. They can do the same thing too. They're actually talking about themselves. That's not a psychopath. A psychopath has no empathy. Nowhere in this chart talks much about empathy. You see that? Sociopaths are incapable of feeling shame, guilt, or remorse. Their brain simply lacks the circuitry to process such emotions. This allows them to betray other people. Have they ever betrayed other people before? They have betrayed every single person around them. Every single person they have backstabbed. The work environment, they backstab people at their work, their entrepreneurial job. They backstab everybody they can. They always have this mentality that everyone needs to be screwed over because they don't feel guilt, shame, and remorse. Their brains lacks the circuitry. They betray other people, threaten people, harm people without giving a second thought. Have they ever done that? Of course they have. They've been violent. They pursue any actions that serve their own self-interest and it harms others. You see that? Number 4, sociopaths invent outrageous lies about their experience, just like their girlfriends. They'll tell you lies, how they got them. It's completely half-truth. They invent the stories, as it says here. If they talk about Therion and how they don't feel guilt doing this, they don't feel guilt doing this either. They have the sociopath eyes. I don't. So they invent outrageous lies. So I actually went and I got all the assessment papers. I have it with me here in this room. So just in case I need it in the future, if anyone ever slanders me, calling me a psychopath, it's not true. I went through like many psychologists, psychiatrists, counselors. I have all the documentation. I have gotten from all of them. I can show you in the future here. No one ever said I was a psychopath or sociopath. I don't have a diagnosis for that at all. They make wrong conclusions like, oh yeah, psychopaths, they don't feel emotions, therefore, or they're autistic or something. I don't have one for autism or Asperger's. I have zero diagnosis for it. Like I said, I have the documentation. Anyone that talks any bullshit is called slander and defamation of character. So that's why I understand social skills. I don't care about it, but there's many illnesses that affects emotions. But I can feel empathy now. Later in my life, I could not feel it before after I got rid of the mental trauma. So you can see I don't swear as much as before. I'm way more empathetic than before. But I didn't have that before. I had very less. But now I have a lot. So I'm not next one. Sociopaths seek to win, dominate, and win at all costs. Yeah, they'll say, oh yeah, your testimonials. No, the students counters that. Also, they hate to lose any arguments or fights and viciously defend their web of lies, even the point of logical absurdity. They have to win at all costs. To move out of their country to a Western country, they have to get women pregnant and tell everybody bullshit that they're applying for the countries. They'll lie about everything, how they got their girlfriends. They'll lie and lie and lie. You can't verify it. But I know she didn't walk through that door because there's no alcohol, no game, no results. They'll cheat their way through everything. They have to win at all costs. Johnny Lee keeps winning because I keep getting students laid. I haven't even posted all the late testimonials. Sociopaths are highly intelligent. They use their brain power to deceive others and rather than empower them. Their high IQs make them dangerous. This is why many of the best known serial killers who can successfully evade law enforcement were sociopaths. They in fact invade law enforcement after they beat the shit out of somebody with a pipe. Sociopaths speak poetically. They're master wordsmiths. They deliver a running stream of consciousness, monologue, both intriguing and hypnotic. They're expert storytellers and even poets. So whenever you see one of their videos and they're talking to the thing, they're just manipulating you. They're manipulating what you hear, what you think, and what you feel. They manipulate the emotions and whatever. And they use words there to try to make you think this way. Brainwashing. They call it brainwashing. Like, John, you're not properly brainwashing the people, right? But they'll brainwash. That's the word they use, is brainwashing. And they also believe that if the students get laid from the courses, like my courses, then they won't be in the boot camps. Why would they be there? So their courses are designed to be confusing as possible. I'm not saying they said that to me, but what if they did, hypothetically? What if they told me that the courses have to be as confusing as possible and incomplete, so that way they'll end up in the boot camp? That's why I have more testimonials and they have more in the boot camp. But they don't, regardless. I have 16 times more. I'm not saying they ever said that to me, but they're like this AMD process. Sociopaths, number 9, never apologizes. They are never wrong. They never feel guilt. Once again, the word guilt, as they accuse another self-proclaimed coach. Oh, he doesn't feel guilt. They're accusing themselves for others. They can never apologize. Even when shown proof they're wrong, they'll still refuse to apologize, instead go on the attack. Sounds exactly like them. It's something psychopaths can feel, but not empathy. Sociopaths cannot feel guilt, but they can feel empathy. It's weird, isn't it? A little bit of empathy. Sociopaths will have dogs and stuff. They have animals, they have pets. They can emote around their girlfriends and people they care about. Different with psychopaths. Like I said, I don't have a diagnosis for psychopathy. And when they accuse other coaches of being a psychopath or pay to play, and they're guilty of the same things themselves, they have pay to play. I'm not saying all their infields are pay to play. None of them are. But what they do privately is pay to play, sometimes in a particular country. That's a third world, war-torn, shitty country. Of course, you say, which coach are we talking about? I would say nobody. Maybe this is all made up. Maybe there is no coach that's fucking crazy. Maybe I'm just using an example, or maybe this is all real. You will never know, because I'll never mention any names, and the stuff that's private, I'll keep it private. However, saying that, when they start accusing other people of pay to play, that's just wrong. Knowing what I know. When they accuse other people of being psychopaths because they don't feel like guilt, but they're the ones who don't feel guilt either, that's just wrong. Because he's not accusing a psychopath. He's just like, they never use the word sociopath because that's what they are. With these 10 traits, they cannot change what they are. These traits are so dominant in their thinking, everything filters through it and out in their mind. Every tactic they use, every alcohol crutches, every single time the door lock is reversed so she can never leave, it's always the 10 traits of a sociopath. They can never change it. They cannot change their sociopath eyes, their intense eyes. They accuse people that also have very intense eyes. I'm not calling other self-proclaimed people sociopaths or psychopaths. I don't think so. I don't think they're a psychopath. There's no traits whatsoever that relates to it. Psychopaths could be very logical if they're so right. Not opinions as facts, and their Daygame stuff will work. But it sounds delusional. Mystery this, mystery that. I'm just saying that does not fit in with the definition of a psychopath. Don't defend them. I will, because that's just wrong. When they say pay to play the other coach, right? And they try to this guy is so guilty of everything they accuse the other coach of. Guilty. Lies about the girlfriends. Lies about the immersion program student results. Try and make it more than they really have. They don't even have one. They'll lie about how their students get laid. They'll lie that their students are ugly. Everything's been fabricated. The results happen, but how they got there, just like the InEar coaching, all this stuff, it's all a deception. It's all a circus. You're like, who can manipulate the world at such a level? A fucking sociopathic, dark tetrad, sadistic cult leader. They can do that. Ridiculous. As I was saying, they run 10 traits at once. They're delusional. So their in-field analysis is delusional, because if they were actually so right, they could get students laid for their 7 months program online quickly without them playing a numbers game and just collecting their money. Because game is not enough, because they don't teach the alcohol crutch during these programs or their products. That's why they cannot get laid. That's why in the InEar coaching, in the boot camps, they tell you what to say, and then eventually they use alcohol in the bedroom. Stupid. Romantic flirts, most people don't fit into a boyfriend-girlfriend frame. They're delusional. Everything that they believe, they're like, expert opinion here. Expert at what? Expert at sociopath 10 traits? Everything that gets filtered in their brain is all wrong. If you take away the alcohol, you take away every single lay testimonial they have. Then that's how delusional they are. They're even worse than the other self-proclaimed coaches. They cheat everything. The whole life, they're just cheating the process. And everything they accuse the other white dating coach, they're guilty of themselves. I'm just giving my opinion here about the coach. I'm not trying to defame him. And I'm not trying to slander him. I'm just giving my opinion from an outside view. I'm just speculating. Just to say that. I don't care about them. I have way more pickup lay testimonials than they do. I don't give a fuck about Tinder. But when you accuse yourself through others and defaming, saying, oh, student results are fake for mine, fuck you. When they're on the phone saying it's real and it's not even planned, and he's seen every single one for a long time since they joined, it's all real and stupid. Psychopaths have no empathy, feel slight guilt. Sociopath has zero guilt, but they'll manipulate their audience. Imagine this level of manipulation. Even I was stupid enough to fall for their stuff. And also, they'll do anything because they don't feel guilt, including using fucking steroids and illegal heavy bedroom escalation. It's not TRT, it's not testosterone replacement therapy. It's recreational. This is why. And who you're talking about? Nobody knows. Nobody even can connect the dot. They use steroids, and the reason why they look fat during the winter and stronger during the summer months is because that's their steroid cycle. Microdosing. They even tell their students, the short ones, hey, maybe consider it. They'll teach you how to do it. They'll teach you how to use anti-estrogen pills too. Anti-aromatase. They'll teach you how to use the dosage. Of course, there are coaches out there that even say they like steroids. There's all sociopaths. Of course, there's some that claim that it's because they have this doctor, I forgot the name, starts with E, right? It's not recreational. Okay, whatever. Low testosterone. But they don't have low testosterone. They just do this because they're skinny fat and it's easier for Daygame. They'll lie about everything. Is that who you want to learn from? They'll lock the doors on the inside. Everything has to be manipulation. They cannot be a normal person. So if the woman wants to leave from inside, they have to beg the other person to open the doors. They have to get out of them when their bedroom escalating her super hard. They have to kick the person off and say, I want to leave now, I want to leave, open the door. Then the door will open. Does that make sense? And that's in one country. That's fucked up. So they're screwing everyone over with their impulsive violence, beating someone else with a pipe. But who are you talking about, John? Nobody. This is nobody. That's not like, that's sociopathic as shit. It's like a demon. They have a mask of sanity. They're masked, they pretend, but they hide the sociopath eyes, the Therion eyes, RSD eyes. They learn more about you. They're like a demon. They pretend to be your friend and then they stab you in the back. It's the same with their students. They treat them like bags of money that are easily manipulated into their rat trap. Their bait is their student infields or their infields, and you don't see the alcohol. And yeah, and the reason why I have more lay testimonials from my courses and all this other stuff, because it fucking works. But they think they're so great because they made their courses confusing, incomplete. You don't have to worship infields here. But to get a level 3 student, the ones who spend thousands and thousands of dollars, 5,000 to be exact, you have to make them worship enough to turn a level 2 student into a level 3. That's how they do it. They see these infields, they lose their fucking minds. The truth here, it's all alcohol maxing. The infield analysis with these 10 sociopath traits, all their infield analysis are all wrong. It's always incomplete. They never have social skills. Trust me, engineers and people like that used to have that as a job. They're Asperger's. They don't know what social skills is. I do. Just because I'm not like great at it doesn't mean I don't know it and can teach it. I know everything about it. My Pakistani mentor taught me stuff like that. I know. That's why students learn it. I'm not the most social person, but I know how to use it if I have to. As they even tried to say other white dating coaches pay to play, in reality, they paid to play before. Not for their infields, but for the personal. So these are gold diggers. So how does it work? They'll pull the women back home in third world shitty countries, war-torn countries, Ukraine. And the women, before they have sex, they'll say to them, can I have some taxi money? Or they'll leave. And they'll be like, okay, fine. They'll give them a little bit of money, not a lot. It's not prostitution because they still have to pull the women home, as they'll try to say. That it's just taxi money. It's a win, right? The poor country help. No, it's almost like an indirect form of prostitution. They have gone through that many times. As they say, pay to play, pay to play. They keep saying that. Every finger that goes there, 3 points back. Pay to play. They pay to play too. So in third world countries, the women will do that. Really poor countries. That's why they call gold diggers. They'll use the sex tourists there. I'm not saying that happens for every infield. If they don't do that, they have to escalate super hard in the bedroom. Get her drunk. They have this Elizabeth Holmes sociopath eyes. She's a sociopath, not a psychopath. They always look like Charles Manson and Hitler for their eyes. Very intense. Death stare. They cannot hide it. This is why these dating coaches with this death stare is not the same as blue pill. And my students who gets laid so often, when I analyze their infield, it's not InEar coaching, I analyze their infield. They don't sound confident or witty or anything like that. But beyond a shadow of a doubt, now that you heard the students, saw all the stuff, the lay picks, the audio infields, they never sound good. They sound fast, they talk like that, they hunch a little bit, but they practice the drills. So anyone that tries to say this fake for my student results, they have an agenda because they can't beat me for student lay testimonials. They're super jealous. And they write complete libel. Libel is like written slander. And they'll be dealt with. Every single lay testimonial, every single one's real. Every single one. Sometimes they don't even get laid, they get a poll. I still count it. I still collect it. It's not like they win every fucking home run. Sometimes they just hit the next base, they fuck up. They never sound good. And they don't use romantic flirt lines. They don't use fucking lines. They just stack the points for the social skill flow drill. The social calibrations, body language. They talk slower and they use the arrow signs for game. Maneuver, sexualize it to the maximum, and objections looping, backfill with flirt. When you mix this with whitewash hairstyle, I didn't have time to wash my hair, I just took a shower before this. And in the whitewash fashion, you raise your looks, you raise the height. With the elevator shoes, you can compensate. You can raise the money, you can raise the status. This is key because my students, the genuine video testimonials, they are not witty people or using autistic or Asperger routines or DHV stories. They're only maneuvering her all the time, pulling her, sexualizing it to the max and using sexual, that get the sexual objections out to deal with it. They unlock her right brain emotionally and her left brain doing this without alcohol, without cheating. I know what you're thinking, that you still need a boot camp. Here's a tricky thing, because if you think you still need it because of InEar coaching, you're being manipulated by sociopath cult leaders and bottles of champagne in every infield they have. They can't do it without it, or steroids. They'll teach their students the same thing. Follow the evidence and have some critical thinking for once. That's why I create the Elite Bundle too. You can get both my products, which works, by the way. They don't have the best product ever. I have the best Daygame course ever because it works for Daygame without a bootcamp. You can look at the testimonial page for Elite 30. You see, like this, like fucking more than, if I have 16 times the lay testimonials, there's more than like 10 times the amount of bootcamp stuff they have of students laid. Elite 30 by itself. By Elite Bundle 2, you get consulting for intense Skypes. And now I raised the price to $1,000. The world's best Daygame coach should charge like more money if it works better than bootcamp. It is so backed by so many lay testimonials, it doesn't even stop month after month this year without bootcamp. So this is what it's going to do for you. It's going to get you laid by not making you waste money for a bootcamp. If for level 2 students who can spend around $1,000, they're willing to invest in themselves. As I, the world's best Daygame coach, 3 lay pool testimonials. I'm not the best PUA, but I'm the best Daygame coach. Everyone declares they're the best. These are megalomaniacs. They want to prove it. I am that person. There's a difference between trying to prove it by wearing a t-shirt that claims you're the best and actually being that person. That's me. Proof versus being. People are not stupid. Just because they wear like some kind of shirt that claims that they're the best, they're a narcissistic sociopath. They're trying to use positioning and marketing. I'm the best and most tested. It's all fucking lies. It doesn't stop my students' lay testimonials. As the next video, I probably will post another one. What I do is I make you do drills and exercises to get you laid by getting you past your threshold for 20 out of 35 as fast as possible, without alcohol or heavy bedroom emasculation. You'll only learn how to maneuver, flirting, and maximum sexualization at a point, and deal with the sexual objections. Fuck, oh, you gotta sexualize it, not flirt, you gotta sexual. No, you cannot half-ass sexualize. It will not work UMP stuff. So that's the thing. You don't need to brute force it or take a boot camp with InEar coaching. So what I've done for you is I created this bundle long ago and it still works today. Just like my courses. Do you know my very first course, Elite 30? I think it was released in 2017. It still works every single month. Their courses never works, ever. It's like less than a handful of lay testimonials. It just puts you in a boot camp. Unlike the other dating coaches funneling you into boot camps. So if you click the link in the description, you can sign up for a free consultation call with me, a 30-minute. I'll go over things about you. I'll diagnose your problems. I'll tell you what you need. And if you don't fit in, don't worry. There's no obligation. You don't have to join. It's not like a sales call where I use heavy sales tactics on you. But only because you want to be here. At least even if you want a financing plan, discuss it with me in the Calendarly thing. Book a 30-minute call. in the description, and also tagged in the video for the pinned comments. So that's the thing. You don't need a boot camp. You don't need InEar coaching. You don't need to escalate super hard. There is no bedroom escalation coaching here. You don't take hostages and escalate until she submits with Stockholm Syndrome. And all their infields does the same thing. All their girlfriends did not happen the way they said it. It's not closed with Daygame for some of them, or they have to retarget. I honestly don't know how much longer I'm going to keep the Elite Bundle 2 at this price. The prices will go up, and maybe I want to create a new Kaizen course where it's like Kaizen, but you have a whole group of people, an 8-week mentorship program. So click the link, discuss this with me, and I'm always here to help. And you see all the students with their amazing results. So that's the thing. I don't want level 1 sewer rats. I want level 2 and level 3. So if what I'm saying gets through to you, and you're like an Asian person or you're a professional, you make some money and you're not happy, you're getting older, your life is not in order, and you look at these boot camps and you're not sure about the other boot camps, and you see my student results, and you're thinking to yourself, is this the right place for you? Don't you need a boot camp? I want you to contact me. And also I have 3 months of proficiency bundle. It has every single course. And pretty soon it's going to have the 6 or the Elite 60 course. One student has joined. If I have a Kaizen, a group Kaizen, maybe we have like maybe 5 people at the same time teach them in a group. It'll be cheaper than Kaizen 101. It'll be a little bit cheaper, but the more people will make up for it. Maybe I should make a sales letter soon. I'm talking about Elite Bundle 2. I can't wait to see you on the inside. I might make a Kaizen light group coaching. Rather than making it 1 month is super hardcore. I don't want to scare people away, but they have to do whatever it takes to learn and adapt if they fuck up. It's very hardcore. But if we make it 2 months, it's less hardcore. We can teach a whole group. We can teach one student at a time throughout the week. Everyone does the drills. They practice with each other. That'll be good. I can look over your homework. I think that's the greatest thing to do. So if anyone's interested, let me know if you're interested. If we can get at least 5 people, 3 to 5, I'll start with a Kaizen Lite. It's going to be like $500 cheaper than the Kaizen program. That'll be perfect. And it won't be as intense. But you all have to get laid no matter what. I'll only be accepting certain people.